Chicago, Illinois. The Browns will have a busy weekend ahead, busier than normal thanks the NFL's decision to do away with the initial cut down to 75 players. Instead, the initial and only cut down of the roster is due Saturday by 4 p.m. We haven't had this before, Executive Vice President of Football Operations Sashi Brown said on Thursday night prior to the Browns' preseason finale against the Bears. I think there's a lot more names to cull through. In addition, you're going to have some veterans that aren't subject to waivers that will come out. It will be an interesting 48 hours. It's jam-packed. The Browns are expected to be active after the initial roster cut considering they sit atop the league in waiver priority. There are obvious areas of the team that could benefit from a surprise release or two. Brown, unsurprisingly, didn't want to get into specifics on Thursday night as to where the team might look. It depends on the quality of the players that are available to us, Brown said. Regarding whether he would add a quarterback, I would never rule out anything. You never know what's going to happen. I've been around long enough to know that. What about cornerback, now that Joe Hayden is gone? Feel like you need to add one? No, not necessarily. We do think we'll explore opportunities to do that, but we don't necessarily feel panicked at that position. Do you need to add a receiver? We're looking across the league at every position. We really do feel like, for us, there's never an opportunity that's available to us that we don't want to explore. Perhaps the most interesting thing Brown said was regarding the team's 13 draft picks they currently hold for 2018 and how he might use them. If the right opportunity comes, I think we've proven we'll use picks in ways that maybe others won't, Brown said. We do want to acquire them, but we'll go out and, whether it's trading up in the draft or getting a guy at the trade deadline, we'll go out and use picks where an opportunity presents itself. Most notably, the Browns used a draft pick at last year's trade deadline to acquire linebacker Jamie Collins from the New England Patriots. They resigned Collins in January and he's one of the key players on Greg Williams' defense this season. It would be entirely unsurprising if the Browns sought out a similar type of deal this weekend, perhaps to acquire a wide receiver or bolster their secondary. It's still a league where there's probably fewer transactions than you would anticipate, Brown said. But where are there opportunities, and we burn the phone lines up to other clubs to explore what opportunities are available, we'll take advantage of. Acquiring draft picks will still be on the table, too, but the Browns don't possess nearly as much to acquire more picks this time around, though Brown has been able to flip punter Andy Lee for a 4th-round pick and offensive lineman Cameron Irving for a 5th-round pick, so it would be foolish to put anything past him. That said, most of the talent on the team is likely talent the Browns want to keep, as Brown and the front office have almost completely climbed out from under the long shadow of former GM Ray Farmer's draft failures. So it's going to be an incredibly busy few days in Berea and across the NFL. The league voted to move to this, Brown said. I'm not sure I was the biggest fan of the change, but it is a great opportunity for us to look for opportunities to improve the back end of our roster. And, if the right opportunity presents itself, maybe even somewhere near the front.